Hi everyone, this is Mike89. Welcome to the 8th video in my Sonic 3 and Knuckles with Knuckles tutorial series. This video is going to cover Flying Battery, which is one of my favourite stages in the game. Instead of doing a spin dash at the start, we're going to run up next to this zip line here and crouch right next to it. So you can see just how close you can get to the zip line here. Stand right next to it, hold down so the screen scrolls all the way down, and this is what we want to see. The input is hold down until it gets all the way to the bottom of the screen, and then tap A and start at basically exactly the same time. What you want to see is for the screen to be paused, Knuckles in a spin dash animation like this, but the screen hasn't shifted back up at all. So you can see how close Knuckles is to the top of the screen right there, and that's exactly as it was when the screen was scrolled all the way down. If you see that, then what you want to do while you're paused is switch to holding right and then unpause. And what that's going to do is it's going to send you up this tube here, and there's a trigger that's meant to happen when you come up through here that doesn't happen because it's off screen. And if you normally, when you go over this, you would switch back into a running mode. So if you see that you're still rolling here, then you've got it. And what's going to happen next is that when you get up to where the mesh cylinder is, the game's kind of stored a spin dash for you. And it lets it go there, which pans the screen way, way out to the right. And as you can see, at the moment the mesh cylinder is not on screen anymore. So at the moment the game thinks that Knuckles is in it, but doesn't know where to put him. And that gives you the slope glitch as well as this amazing looking sprite. Now, this is not actually the fastest way with Knuckles. There's a method that's about 5 to 8 seconds faster. If you're interested in that, I recommend looking at HDL's videos for that. I'm not going to cover it here. It's much more difficult. This is a much simpler version. Okay, so some things about this route have slightly changed. Like I said, all three characters can do this, but some things have slightly changed. So the first one is here. When you get up to this invincibility box, start rolling here, and then jump. And what they'll do is, like in Launch Base, you get pushed slightly into the ground just as you jump, and that lets you connect with the box so that you bounce straight down and run through there. Whereas what we used to do was jump over the boxes, get stopped by the wall, and then have to build up momentum again. So not having to do that is nice. The other thing that's changed since I recorded the Sonic videos is that you can stop in here, charge a spin dash, jump into the ceiling here, and carry running at spin dash speed for the entire rest of the stage. You don't have to worry about anything here because you're traveling so fast. Jump over that, jump onto the capsule, and everything here is set. You know how this works. That sprite there is created by doing a glide. It's just for show, it doesn't really do anything. The hit is on purpose though, so I can see where I'm standing, because I'm going to set up the slope glitch here again. So stand on the edge, jump straight up and down, and you'll always land on that corner. So now, because this is a because I'm about to do a level wrap in the next stage, much like in Hydrocity 2, we now need to die as quickly as possible to start the stage. And this is the reason that I got the slope glitch. So what we're going to do, charge a full spin dash, and when you get up to about, just in line with the left edge of the mesh cylinder, do a small jump. Small as you can. And the objective is to land as high in this ramp as you can. So it's about here. And what that's going to do is it's going to give you the steepest possible angle on this ramp, so that you build up enough speed over here to actually fall through the floor and die. The difficulty in it is you wouldn't have been able to see it. There's actually a zip line there as well, and if you don't go through the floor by the time that you get to the zip line, then it catches you and you just get sent up the mesh cylinder and you have to die another way. But that's the ideal case. It takes 8 or 9 seconds. So when you come back, you just go through the stage normally up until you get to the 3 pulleys, which is here. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to grab onto this wall before, and then just climb straight up. It's not jumping out to the cylinder. You just jump, glide, climb up, and you'll just get put on that. What that does is it actually sets your subpixels to a specific value, and that value just happens to, if you do the next part right, you'll always get stuck in the floor here and not pushed down, because if you get pushed down onto there's no way back up to this area, so you just have to die and try it again. So we don't want to see that. So what we're going to do, grab the wall, hit that, and then just as you can see Knuckles' foot appear at the bottom here, you then want to do 2 presses of the jump buttons, and one of them is just as the foot appears, and the second one is exactly 2 frames later. So it's essentially just hitting the 2 buttons as close to together as you can, really, with 2 separate fingers. So it didn't work there or there, and you can see each time you grab the wall, it sets you up nicely again. And you should also be holding left when you do this as well. So you get put there, and you can see Knuckles' head kind of poking out slightly around there. Once you see that, you then switch back to right, which is why you start blasting away like this. Then you can see there's a curved section here, and when you get to that, you switch to left, which pushes you down a little bit and then back out to the right. So you want to go past that and then back pressing right back to the left a little bit. So what you're looking for is a specific position, and you can see on the curve, you can see these panels with straight lines with vertical lines on them. You can see 2 on the screen right now. You want there to be 3. So in order to make 1 more appear, we're going to do a single spin dash. And see, now there's 3. 1, 2, 3. From this position, we're now going to do a spin dash, and then a really quick spin dash, and then hold right coming out of it for about 1/4 of a second. And then remember over here there was a spring earlier. Just as you get to that spring, you want to switch to holding down, and you won't see the spring. It will be way off screen because the spin dash will pan the camera in place. And what ideally happens is this. Knuckles is going so fast that he misses this part of the loop here and just gets shot straight up into the ceiling. And as soon as you do that, you then hold right and you level wrap right to the end of the stage. Now there's nothing else you need to do from here. As soon as the screen pans past here and catches up with you, the platform is now moving up. So everything here doesn't matter, really. We're now just waiting for the boss to appear. So skip forward a little bit. So make sure you stand in the middle of the platform. Get 1, 2, 3 hits and then get away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can see now he's shifted 6 times. And what I want to do is I want to now jump onto this arm and get hit just on the inside half of it so that I get knocked back this way. And the objective is for me to line myself up so that after that ninth shift there, I'll pick a frame where you can actually see Knuckles. There we go. That he's to the right of this line, which is where the spikes will hit you, and he's to the left of this line, which is where the fire will hit you. So it's a tricky balance to find, but because you're invincible, you've got a little bit of time to actually find it. And then if you do that correctly, then even when Knuckles becomes vulnerable again, he won't get hit by either the spikes or the flame. And you have to get 5 hits. He only rotates twice, unlike with Sonic and Tails where he rotates 4 times. So you have to get 5 hits in 2 rotations, or you lose about 8 seconds waiting for him to come back up again. So that's the best way for Knuckles to handle that. And then just do 1 tap spin dash here, full jump when the screen starts shifting and you land directly on the capsule. So that's Flying Battery, and I'll now go back to the start of the stage and play that back without any interruptions.